Good morning and welcome to the Retirement Railroad 2.0. I'm Steve and this is episode 43 of Workbench Wednesday. And this will be part 3 of our WeHonest Animated Crossing signals. Now, the first thing I want to start with is a little extra that I'm putting into the project. And that is a circuit with a switch that'll be mounted on the fascia. And what this will allow me to do is, due to the sensitivity of this system to hot weather, it'll allow me to be able to shut it off, all right, without having to go and unplug everything behind the scenes. So I already had all of these components and I've gone ahead and I've soldered it up. We got a female barrel plug here that the power from the wall wart will plug into, like that. And then the barrel plug here will plug in to the circuitry. All right, right here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, and you can see by the red light here, I don't know if you can see it or not, there is power to it, and I can shut that power off, and you can see the light went off. All right, I'll try to show you again right there. And watch, and it goes off. Okay, so we now have that circuit all ready to be mounted. So that will be the next step. Stay tuned. Okay, so we are going to put this switch right here. All right, I have a 3/4 inch drill bit that I will position right there. And there we go. We've got that hole drilled, and the switch itself, all right, if I get this cleaned up a little bit, has a keeper in it so that it doesn't twist, and I'll have to put a little slot with a file right there. So let me go get the file. Alrighty. And let's feed this stuff through. There we go. And we now have our switch in place. All right, what we have here is the servo mounted. Notice that I have taken my Dremel and notched out the screw holes, making it where I can slide the mounting onto a preset screw. Makes it much easier. I usually utilize the screw that is the toughest to get to so that I don't have to get back to it, and then simply screw in the next one. Now here I'm showing where the center mounting screw is for the pivoting arm on the servo. After I mount this, I disconnect that center screw, and I will hook up the music wire, piano wire, to the crossing gate and to the arm, that loose arm. Then I can reposition it back on to that center screw with the proper tension and throw. Now the way I have the servo arm position is where it pushes up to lower the crossing. You can do it either way, but mine is positioned up to lower the crossing gate. And you'll see that the rear, the far signal is hooked up. The close one, the lever's down, so it's not hooked up yet. Okay, now we can see both servos mounted and hooked up, ready to test. Now you can see that both crossing gate arms are up, which means they're mounted, hooked up, ready to go. And on the upper left. All right, now we're going to do a little testing, and you'll notice that the delay time needs to be adjusted, and it will change as we go. If you keep your eye on the servo, you'll see it on the right side. You'll see it moving, and then you can watch the arms move on the left side. Speed and duration all needs to be adjusted still at this point. All right, now you can also notice that the board is back in place. Alrighty then, I have the WeHonest Animated Crossing signals and gates installed and almost working perfectly. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. It was a challenging install in light of the fact there were no instructions other than the pictures on the eBay listing, which, in fairness, makes it where you can do the installation. A couple of tips to do along the way. It is heat sensitive. In the afternoons here in Oklahoma in the summer, it will not work properly. You turn the power on to it and it'll immediately start flashing and keep going and going and going. All right. It probably has something to do with the sensors, which brings up point number 2. All right. It comes with 4 IR infrared sensors. I purchased 4 more additional ones since I have a 3-track main line and a crossover and siding all affected with this installation. So I did have to compensate for that, and I had to buy extra splitters to incorporate those IR sensors. Splitters meaning wiring for the IR sensors. And so I currently have 7 sensors installed and 6 working properly. I have 1 extra sensor that I will replace the one that's not working, and I have it down to that sensor and not any of the other crossovers or wiring. I've gone ahead and process of elimination of plugging in and unplugging and figure out which one it was, what the problem was. And I have 1 extra splitter and 1 extra IR sensor, so whichever the problem was, I had a methodology of correcting it. Timing on the signals. As you'll see in this in the video that I'll play here in a second, the distances from the from the grade crossing to the IR sensors, I think is correct, and it's about 2 feet on each side. But I need to change the timing a little bit. When the motorman, the commuter train goes through, it trips in time, it gets to the other side and clears the intersection, but because there's another sensor on the other side, the grade crossing stays lit, which is fine. That happened in real life, so I don't have a problem with that. The problem then becomes when the motorman comes back down the track, because of the time that I have set, the duration. As soon as it clears that IR sensor on one side, the gates go up and stop flashing and all that. Well, then it hits the IR sensor on the other side of the track and it comes back down again. So I need to have that timing, either change the train stop time or change the IR sensor delay time to compensate for that. And I'll work on that and see if I can get that situation settled. So with that, let's go ahead and flip on the motorman. All right, and we're going to switch cameras over to here. And as you can see in the upper left, you have the grade crossing. The IR sensors are at the point of the upper right hand. And the lower right hand, you can see the IR sensors on the other side of the track. They're about 3/4 of the way down on each of the 3 tracks. So here we come. It's going to trip. As soon as you see it in the upper right, it's going to trip the sensor. Down come the grade crossings. See, it stays on here, and it'll stay on as long as the delay time and or the IR sensor has something tripping it. And right now, it's past the delay time, and the IR sensor is still tripping it. So as soon as that train reverses direction and clears that IR sensor, those crossing arms go up. See, they went up. Now it's tripping again. As soon as you see it in the upper right, it'll trip. Crossing gates. clear those IR sensors. The gates go up now. Then it trips again now. So for that 2 seconds, all right, I've got to try the settings a little bit different to compensate for that 2-second delay there. Okay. One of the other things, let's go through some of the other design things that I did differently. I replaced the flimsy wire with piano wire, and piano wire, I forget what size it was, but I'll put that in the description. And to me, that added a lot more control and reliability to the mechanism. Now, that did make it a little tougher for the install because you have to get the throw on the arm underneath on the servo correct to the length of the wire. And that was a little bit challenging going from underneath. The other thing was a jumper. You have 3 settings on the main board for the servo jumper. One is for blocks, one is for siding, and one is for train station. TS is for the train station. That's the jumper I used. And as you see, it's working fine. I have the 7-second delay set. I'm gonna for 3 seconds. I'm gonna change that. That's one of the settings I am gonna change. Again, that's on the dip switches of the main board on the TS option. So I'll get that changed over as well. I have the one IR sensor that I also have to get changed out, and I'll get that done. And as you can see, looks real good. And again, we're it's 72 degrees here in my garage right now. And everything's working fine. Now that I found out I had a bad sensor, I'm going to try it again this afternoon and see how it works then. And I'll give an update on this Friday's, or an update in the description. I'll do an edit. So, kind of neat to watch. Again, I have the switch on the panel where I can turn it off, where this bell won't drive me crazy over a longer period of time. Because I do like to sit here at the bench and let the motorman run and watch the video, much like I just showed y'all. I enjoy doing that, and while I'm watching YouTube videos. So with that, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad 2.0 Workbench Wednesday, episode 43, I believe. And it's part 3 and the final part for the WeHonest Animated Crossing signals. So I'll let her run here for a little bit. And like always, y'all have a great day. Bye now.